A single 17-second video. Seriously, that's all it took to cause a massive blow-up online around BLACKPINK, one of the biggest music groups in the world. So today, we're going to get into this whole lazy dancing debate and what it really says about being a star these days.
So here's the big question that split the internet right down the middle. Was this a case of lazy dancing and being unprofessional, or was it just an off moment for a real person having a bad day? A single fan video turned into a total battleground.
All right, so how in the world does one little fan recording from one phone become this massive global story? Let's break it down.
Okay, so it all starts with this tiny little spark, just 17 seconds long, captured during BLACKPINK's huge world tour.
You gotta picture this. A fan is at the concert, filming one of their biggest hits, Forever Young. They're probably just trying to capture a cool memory. But what they ended up recording was the exact moment that kicked off this huge controversy.
And you have to remember, this wasn't some professionally shot concert film or official broadcast. Nope, this whole thing came from a short, 17-second fan video posted to TikTok, and it was focused exclusively on just one member, Rosé.
And that little 17-second clip, it absolutely exploded. On TikTok alone, it shot past 3.7 million views. That's just staggering. And it shows you how incredibly fast something can go viral. With all those eyeballs came a tidal wave of criticism. This term, lazy dancing, which is basically accusing a performer of just phoning it in, it started getting thrown around everywhere. And suddenly it wasn't just about the clip anymore, it was about her. So that little spark, yeah, it didn't take long for it to turn into a full-on online firestorm. The fan reactions just took over.
Right away, the comment section on that video just blew up. I mean, thousands of people jumped in, and a lot of them were not happy at all.
Really common themes started popping up in the comments pretty much immediately. People just felt the performance looked flat, that the energy was totally missing.
Then you had others who took it a step further. It wasn't just about low energy for them, they were saying she looked straight up bored to even be on stage.
And this is the crucial part. This is where things really escalated. The whole conversation started to snowball. It went from being about this one 17-second clip of one member to people questioning the quality of the entire world tour.
I mean, the negativity got so intense that you had some people making these really extreme comments, saying they wouldn't go to a show even if you paid them. That really shows you just how frustrated some viewers were feeling online.
But you know how the internet works. For every wave of backlash, there's a defense, and her fans came out in full force to tell the other side of the story.
So, what did her defenders have to say about all this? Well, they jumped in pretty fast to add what they felt was some much-needed context, trying to explain what people might have really been seeing in that video.
So really, this whole debate boils down to two totally different ways of looking at the exact same clip. On one side, you have the critics saying it's low energy, she looks bored, it's lazy dancing. But on the other, you have defenders saying, hold on, maybe she was sick, maybe she's exhausted from a repetitive set list, just pure burnout.
Let's dig into those arguments from the fans. First, and this was a big one, there were reports that Rosé was actually feeling unwell during this specific concert. Others pointed out that, hey, performing a set list with a lot of older songs, night after night on a long tour, that could naturally drain anyone's energy. And of course, just the reality of doing the exact same choreography hundreds of times, burnout is a real thing.
And this whole incident isn't just about one clip or one artist. It really plugs into a much larger conversation about the insane pressures that performers face when they're in that global spotlight.
It's also worth pointing out that while this specific clip went super viral, it actually wasn't the first time this kind of criticism had popped up during their world tour. The topic of performance energy had been a recurring discussion for a little while.
And that's just the reality when you're one of the biggest groups on the planet, right? Every single move you make is under a microscope. This whole thing just goes to show you the kind of constant, intense pressure they're under, where any moment can be recorded and picked apart by millions of people.
Ultimately, this whole controversy kind of forces us to look in the mirror a little bit. What do we, as fans, really expect from these artists during these long, grueling world tours? Is it even fair to demand 110% peak energy every single second of every single show?
And that's really the big question this whole viral moment leaves us with, isn't it? Where do we draw the line between a fan's right to critique a performance they paid for and that criticism turning into a relentless online pile-on that completely forgets there's a human being up on that stage? It's a tough one, and there's definitely no easy answer.